And I am very blessed to have a very special guest on today, King John Smarty. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, young man?
I'm very, very good. Yeah, very, very good. I'm enjoying some elements of this pretty amazing transitional process that we're going through. But I'm finding myself constantly catching up with the whole thing because it's moving so quick. I'm talking like energetically, vibrationally. So sometimes you got to just take a moment to kind of kick back and relax. Now, before we start on anything, it's quite important that I just want to set out the premise that how some people basically they like to resonate with like a certain being or a certain ET or a certain energy or something, but you are incredibly unique in the fact that you resonate almost completely with Christ consciousness and source in itself, or just in one go. Could you want to just expand on that a little bit because that's quite unique to you?
Right. Well, the Christ consciousness is a bit confusing to especially us because we know that it's meant to confuse with the whole Jesus and Christ and all this crap because that wasn't even the real name anyway. All it is just we call it clear mind. And what I am is the embodiment of all of them put together, which is why I can do the things I can do, generate frequencies, and I'm 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 literally the second down from source, which is what people call the Son of God. Um, so my soul essence is literally Sananda Galactic. Um, and if people had the correct information and the insight, they would know that this is true. So that's why I'm very powerful and unique, like you said.
I got it. I got it. And also you have a group which you run for anyone like-minded people or anyone looking for kind of help and things. I think it's called Source Directives. It's a very beautiful group. I've been on there myself, and you do a lot of work with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's an awesome, amazing group that was handpicked by our creator, which is Source. The reason why it's Source Directives is because we are doing everything that he wants done. A lot of people know it as
Yeah.
God's plan. We just have a higher understanding, so we call it Source Directives, which is basically the same thing. It's just real elevated with massive consciousness, and I literally help connect people to our creator. That's my job. That's my Source Directives. Heal the world, restore faith, sync everybody back to our creator. You have free will, and then you have Source Directives. You choose.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I love that's a very good way to put it. Let's touch a little bit on the future and where things are going. A little bit on people like to call them med beds, crystalline beds, and a little bit more on the executions, arrest, the changeover of power. Can we touch a little bit on that stuff? Because you get some source info straight up.
Straight from daddy. And the reason why I know is because he sends me the orders, I carry them out. That's why I know. So you shoot and I'll shoot back.
All right. Well, let's start a little bit on some of these on some of the what people are calling med beds. I don't want to get too caught up on it, but just a little bit because we've got a lot of talk about today. But just a little bit on what the correct name is, how many there are out there at the moment, what they do, when we're going to get them more, because everyone wants to know about that.
Right.
How it's going to affect you, maybe a little bit how they work, how many people can get to them, that kind of thing. Before we move on to something else.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the med beds that a lot of different groups are talking about are um they're they're like holographic med beds that you see in Star Wars and whatnot. Some of them are just made up concepts. Some of them are actually real, but they're very old. Now, what I deal with are crystalline chambers. The crystalline chambers are literally just a cylinder tube that you walk into, and it changes your appearance, and it makes you crystalline. This is superior than the med bed because The med bed only repairs things. This changed you into a new being, which is the caterpillar effect. Um, there's been a lot of talk about med beds and how different uses of them, and I know that some of them exist because of the secret space programs, and I've seen them. I know what they look like, but they're not even on the planet. They're off in different secret space programs, and along with different other types of mechanisms or soul consciousness transfers machinery or whatever you want to call it. The crystalline chambers are far superior than anything that this part of the galaxy's ever seen. I mean, the chamber will actually be able to poo. You seen the fairy?
Yeah, I saw it.
They're all around me too. The crystalline chamber, it allows me, because of who I am, my essence, my abilities, it will allow me to pull different beings and different soul essence from anywhere across the universe, bring them here, put it in the chamber, and the person will walk out. Okay, there's no technology on this planet or in this part of the galaxy that can do that. So that's why my chambers are far out there and they're unbelievable. And the chambers are actually here on the earth already. This I know for sure. So if you want a med bed, you can go ahead and wait, but the chambers will be released shortly. And they do exactly what I say they do.
Okay, all right, fantastic. And do you think they'll be in a lot of countries, or will they be, and will it be sort of open to everyone, and will there be a lot, or will it be a little bit like the old, like the only certain people can get to it?
No, everybody will have access to them. There's only 1,000 of them. I did request for more, but source I called Daddy. Daddy told me that we only need 1,000 of them, and leave it at that, or I'll have my foot in my mouth. And I says, okay, you don't gotta tell me twice. So they will be stationary all around the planet. They will be free. No one has to pay for anything. Because of the suffering humanity has to deal with on this planet, we are literally going from the Flintstones to the Jetsons pretty much overnight. A lot of different groups think it's far out there, and he wants them to believe that, but it's not.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is with a lot of people out there is that they don't believe this kind of stuff because they haven't seen it. But I mean, I have seen stuff
That's
for
the
real.
problem. Not to cut you off, but that's the problem. There's no faith. It's see
Yeah.
it to believe it. You understand? That's the problem.
Mm.
But go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. I've seen ET Craft, but I have also my mentor. She was a hybrid, and when I used to speak to her, her eyes actually used to change. You know, like you see on these things, like on YouTube and stuff. I actually saw it for real,
Right.
and it was unbelievable. I mean, usually the only people who get to see that kind of thing are the people working in these underground bases in Nellis Air Force Base and Pine Gap and Area 51 and blah 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 blah. So you know, this stuff exists, and I think the military industrial complex are about somewhere like 100 to 300 years ahead in human technology or something right now.
That is true, but at the same time, they're 95% behind me. So what's that tell you? Not to
Uh,
mention, not to mention both sides of the fence are literally against source directives because they want to maintain power, which is not going to be allowed to proceed.
mm,
And for instance, the fake inauguration that just took place, that was considered by our creator unnecessary suffering. They've could have just came out with everything,
yeah.
which is now they're being forced to come out with everything, and they only have a couple more choices before we uncloak all of our ships and literally show ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I pick up on the collective consciousness quite a lot. And after that whole inauguration thing in the build up just before, it's like the collective consciousness just like went, like I
Yeah,
felt the planet
yeah,
just
but we
dive.
well, yeah, but we also are doing things to keep it leveled up. I mean, I literally absorbed everybody's suffering and dished it back out because I have the abilities to do that. And also, all of my ships are being are slowly exposing themselves all around the world. And the reason for that is so that people can see it and realize that there is other worldly things, other off-planet things, and they're not the military forces, despite what anybody says. They're not the secret space programs because we overhauled all their stuff. They're literally our crafts, and we are going to drop it like it's hot, like I said. So the more they continue to stall humanity's evolution, the more we get what we want, which is full disclosure worldwide.
Yeah.
I'm banking on that, by the way.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I've been in this game for a very long time.
Right.
I I've had personal experiences with some military and bits and pieces kind of playing with me a little bit. Do you get that sometimes, or do you get interference, or have you been okay?
Well, the only thing they can do is mess with my computers and attempt to put tracking devices and all that. But I'm so transparent, and you can't stop me because I'm literally protecting myself, right? Because I teleport, open portals. I mean, time doesn't exist for us, which is why,
Mm.
I built my chambers. They're my chambers, so I built them, and they're going to be released as soon as creator source allows.
Yeah.
As far as them, CIA right next door, FBI right behind me, they're all over it, but they can't do nothing. What are you gonna do? Do you want to disappear? That's all I say. Would you
Yeah.
like to disappear? Because I can snatch you up, put you on my ships, and you'll remain in the holding tank while everybody else is celebrating. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And I'm real serious. This is not a game. I From what they've been doing to our little brothers and sisters in these underground tunnels, I'm not playing games with them.
Yeah, well, I mean, for people who don't know, they've been breeding kids in these tunnel systems, literally breeding them for human trafficking, body parts, and sexual abuse. Um,
Also the adrenochrome, because we hold the life force energy, which is what kept them alive. That's literally their that was literally their fountain of youth. Because of them turning their back on the creator and thinking they can do things without our creator, their lifespan has decreased dramatically, and now they're pretty much done.
yeah, I mean, my understanding is that feeding off loosh and also fear prolongs their lives a little bit. But my understanding is that the taking the adrenaline actually makes them look younger as well. Some of these people.
Yeah, and that's why I stated it that way, because that's literally what they did. They do stuff like feed off of the fear, feed off of the adrenochrome to maintain their appearance, keeping themselves young. And little did they know that our creator is can do that. And all you have to do is just turn to him. I mean, that's literally what we're going to show people now. I'm going to show everybody the realization on how with source, daddy, I call daddy, everybody knows me that I call him daddy, literally will show, we're going to show people how we can have everlasting life when you do it with frequencies.
Yeah.
That's simple. It's
Do you
not,
want to?
it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out.
Do you want to talk about frequencies for a minute? Because I know you like to talk about them just a little bit, just for people who don't know, and just a little bit about people who do.
Yeah. I mean, frequencies is one of my hobbies. My main objective is for full disclosure, wealth transfer, and restore the planet. That's what I'm here to do. So as far as the frequency part, what I do is I generate frequencies literally in the palm of my hand. I request them. Once I receive them, I put them into energetic photos or devices. There's literally no disease or no problems that we cannot fix or cure using frequencies. And I
Yeah.
mean cure, okay? I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you're not a doctor. You can't use those words. According to who? Huh? Because the last time I checked, I got the highest clearance there is. Okay? So I use frequencies to cure diseases across the board, and I offer them free. You can go to my website, which is holotech.biz, find the image you want, with the word, depending on what the disease is, download it, print it out, laminate it, use it as a photo mat. I mean, like a placement mat. Or if you don't have a printer or lamination paper, you can just hold a cup of water up to the image on the screen, allow the frequencies to energetically transfer into your water. You drink, problem solved. Literally overnight. That's how I programmed it. Everything can be programmed here. We're literally in some type of a matrix, which is crashing.
Yeah, yeah, it's crashing very hard. It's crashing very
Really,
hard.
really hard.
It's very exciting, but it's also quite difficult for some of the souls who aren't ready. It's a big shock for them. So a lot of them are leaving, and a lot of them are having to figure it out.
That is true, but this is also why the crystalline chambers are being handed down, because
Yeah.
not a lot of people, because of the programming that's been happening on this planet, not a lot of people are ready for it. But thank our creator, those of us that are ready for it are going to accept it with open arms. And then that's the reason for the source directives and the people that are joining and participating, because we get to heal our brothers and sisters. Not only humans, I'm talking about different beings across the board. I have the abilities, and I can generate any frequencies from here to, from here to the other side of the universe. So I'm very, very valuable to this entire universe, and it is my responsibilities.
Mm.
So I got a lot on my plate, and that's why I take things serious, and I also have fun with the team teaching them things.
Mm.
I'm just looking forward to it. I'm very excited. I get intel all the time. I just got one while we was talking. I get intel all the time.
Yeah, let's chuck some intel out there. So, give us what you can say.
Well, I can pretty much say anything because, like, I'm the head honcho around here, so I can say whatever I want. There's nothing that I can't not say. So,
What
uh,
did he just now?
well, what I got just now was that Russia and China uh, uh, literally attacked us with the bioweapon, which is I already knew. That's what the coronavirus started out with, was a bioweapon. We used frequencies to neutralize it so that it didn't affect the people the way that they wanted it to, which is why now they're making things up. The whole coronavirus is bullshit. You got more people dying from the flu. So now, after we've changed the frequency, the same way we did Loosh, okay, Loosh, they were energetically harvesting the fear, the Loosh, right? So you take the Loosh, you cancel it out with a frequency, people start to die. Not people, but beings that were feeding off of that start to die. You do the same thing with adrenochrome, people start to die again. So we did the same thing with the virus, the bioweapon, and now they're being exposed as frauds because it's not even doing nothing. What they're doing now is just faking everything. Not to mention they're putting all types of other things in the test so that you can put it in your nose and all types of crap. I mean, you see it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they have to do to keep their little charades going on. But it's failing everywhere they turn. Everywhere.
Mm.
Why is that? Because they didn't expect us to show up. That's why.
Well, it's backfired on them a lot because actually it's given a lot of people a lot of time to sit at home and actually get spiritual. Funny enough, so
Big time. And
and,
when that happened, that's when I went on Facebook Live.
mm,
And for 3 months straight, I was teaching people, everybody that said they had the virus, their family members. I taught them how to push the energies, hit them with frequencies, neutralize it. 3 months later, my Facebook got deleted. All my work, my everything was just gone overnight.
mm,
So I had to do other things to continue to do what I'm doing.
yeah,
But it's okay. I mean, they can't stop. They can't stop us. We're way too powerful, way too powerful.
mm,
And they continue to use the media to help with their agenda because they know that people's subconscious creates their reality they want.
mm.
That's why they continue to post this crap all over the news so that the people can help manifest that. but we are also in the background changing everything with frequencies and the energetic stuff. I also received information straight from source that my request or my command to confiscate everything is in the process, which is why certain people like Bezos and everybody else are losing everything because they
Well,
were
he
also
stepped down today, I think, didn't
yeah,
he?
yeah, because they were also involved with the child pedophilia and I want them I want them to be, I want them to be charged and caught for that because everything else is bullshit. Everything else is BS. You were literally molesting, killing, harvesting, sacrificing children. That's what you need to go down for, not this made up bullshit, secretly stepping down across the board. No, you all have been in violation of molesting our children, and you're going to pay for it. Whether the military executes you or I'm coming for you, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get off on a tantrum. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. That's why we're here. That's the whole point of it. And I think some of them have been taken off world, some of them have been executed, some of them house arrest, some of them accidentally hurt their ankle and they got an ankle brace, but actually it's just hiding a tag.
That's true.
What else we got? There's a whole lot of stuff going on. But hey, look, I want Michael Jackson to come back, and I want Princess Diana to come out the hiding in JFK and say, "Hey, look, we're back." But
They will. They will.
you got anything? You got anything on that?
Of course, they will. I'm the one that took them. We took them. We took them off planet. We protected them. Um, all that's going to be revealed, so it's okay. But I will tell you that as far as the executions, there will be executions. It will happen on the White House lawn, and then for the galactics, because you got humans involved and then you got galactics involved, like Draco reptilians. There will also be a trial galactic wide, literally up right above us in the crafts. So you got two sets of trials that's going to happen, and then you have where you become dust particles, be reformed into a little ball, a box, not a box, but like a rock, and then you get put on a certain planet to sit there for a while. That's terrible, but that's literally what's happening. It's wild things that are happening. People will have to wrap their heads around it all, but it's going to be out there so that they can do research and see it. It's wild stuff. I'm excited.
What I am seeing is that the truth is going to start hitting big around the summertime. Is that timeline kind of right?
I'd say days, and the reason
Hey,
why,
okay.
yeah, the reason why I say days is because I understand how manifestation works and how our words create our reality. So I continue to say days no matter what.
Yeah.
So if everybody continues to say days, guess what happens? In days.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to happen in days. Well, that works for me. Yeah. As you speak, you are, I think it was a word, as you speak, you are spelling or something. I can't remember what that was saying, but yeah, that's certainly true for sure.
Well,
Tell us.
your wish is my command type thing. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's what I am. I'm literally a supreme commander. I command things. So I'm commanding days. You
Yeah.
understand?
When was it that you came into your power? What sort of age? Was it something that was like 2 years old, bing bang bosh straight in, or was it something you grew into, or did you have a moment, or like when did it kind of hit? When did the penny drop?
Well, I was always I was always in the clouds. I just didn't realize exactly my role and who I really was up until maybe 2016. I was always helping people. I was always into researching, research junkie. Um, at the age of 7, they did an IQ test on me. It was 250. It's in the Lancaster County School Districts, in case anybody wants to go research. I encourage you to go research so you can see that I'll tell the truth, no matter how it sounds. Those don't even matter to me. As the years went on and different things were happening, the World Trade Center bombing, evaporation, because there was different things involved. that literally woke the whole entire planet up. You know what I'm saying? So that happening, me wanting to know what's going on, me seeing that something wasn't right. I've already knew about extraterrestrials, ETs. I had certain experiences with all that. And it's like, what's really going on here? So then in 2012, I started working with a quantum physicist who was creating energy holograms. Um, 5 years working with him, things wasn't going right. He wanted to corner the market, and I just thought it should be free. So as I'm working doing those type of things with frequencies, I got connected with crew members all around the world, and all of a sudden, Source came along and started talking to all of us across the board at the same time. So then we're like, oh, I had a friend that used pendulums, and I had talked to her over the phone. I healed her just by being, just by her. I wasn't in her presence, but when I'm talking to somebody, my energy is going through the phone. So she got better instantly. The next day she calls me back. She says, Smarty, are you so and so? I says, I don't know. Use your pendulum. I was getting yes at the same time she was using her pendulum. So that confirmed who I am. Okay. Then I started talking to everybody else, confirming things. And it's like, whoa, this is real. Then Source started telling me, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. So I'm like, okay, let me try it. I started channeling energies and frequencies and pulling things left and right. And I would just make the holograms and I would just give them out to people. And the reports were unbelievable. I'm talking about, I still get goosebumps to this day, okay? The reports were unbelievable. And I said, this is real. This is real. So it started in 2016, and it's just been, after I found out all that stuff, I started seeing more. We started going into the tunnels dimensionally. I started taking apart the reptilians, chopping them up. I started going into where they were sacrificing the children, chopping them up on some wild, energetic, you know, teleportation stuff. So it's definitely wild. It's definitely it's been a trip. It's been a trip. And since then, I know more and more and more and more and more because my connection with our creator, source, our father, is very real. He is very real, very real. And he's given me all the abilities that I have. And without him, I wouldn't be able to do this. So
Yeah.
when they say that, all things are possible with God, that's very, very, very real, very true. And more things are opening up. So that's why I can say what I can say with authority. And it happens. It's not a prediction. It happens because he's literally telling me what to do. Okay. So when he tells me to do something, I put the energy behind it. Boom. That's what's going to happen. You understand?
Yeah,
I'm,
very much, very much. Yeah,
the
yeah,
orders are
absolutely.
coming straight from him. That's what people don't realize. The cabal, when they were attacking us and attacking my teammates, they didn't realize how real the source factor is. That's what I call Daddy, the source factor. They're finding out the hard way that he is very real, and we are not to be effed with. Okay.
Well, what kind of stuff was going on? Is there anything you could talk about, or were they getting taken down in certain ways, or was there things happening?
Well, they were constantly trying to do certain things. Like I was saying, just follow me and play with my vehicles and set me up for certain things. And then beams of light will come out of nowhere and scare the crap out of them. So when they would go report back to their higher ups, the higher ups didn't believe them. So what we did was every time they sent different crew members out, we just started making them disappear. Now you got groups and groups of people that are not reporting back to their commands. That's why they took me serious because they couldn't explain it. People are still missing. Not my problem. Should have never came after me.
Yeah,
What,
quite.
what part of source directives didn't they understand?
And have you had any reptilians trying to attack you or anything like that? Or is it
No,
just the
they
humankind?
no, they're afraid of me because they saw what I did to their, their counterparts, their teammates. Literally, even my own crew are afraid of me because of what I can do. Some of them don't even come around because of that. Um, and I don't blame them because right now I'm just trigger happy. I'm just trigger happy. And I understand how energy works and how we can reform. So, if there's something that I don't like that I'm not sure of, boom, I'll just pop it. If it wasn't meant to be popped, daddy will literally instantly replace it. That's what happened to the fairies that were around here a couple months back when they started surrounding me flying like the one just did. Normally I would just pop it, poof, right? But this one, since I'm aware of it already, it was allowed to fly around. When they did it like in a big, kind of like like Cinderella all the way around. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I popped them all, and then they all were replaced. And now they're literally going throughout the universe and everywhere, telling people, "Don't go over there. Don't
Yeah.
go over there." That's very real. Very real.
And what kind of stuff are you getting up to in your dreams and your astral stuff? You must be pretty crazy busy.
Well, first of all, we don't dream. What it is, we move into a different dimension, into a different reality. Take care of business. Just last night, I was taking out some stuff. What happens with me is when I lay down, I'm off taking care of other things around the universe because I'm multiplied 100 times. Um, some of it I don't remember. I'll get glimpses of it as we go, and daddy daddy pretty much does that just so I don't lose focus on what needs to be done here, which is totally understandable to me. But at the same time, I don't like that. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? But he also says timing is everything, just like right now. Just yesterday, he literally approved my unveiling and my hitting the world stage. So, between Nicholas, yourself, and others that will come along, people are going to find out about me. I would like to say thanks to shout outs to Nicholas for his show because of his show. Thousands of people are using the holograms and are feeling better. People are just so happy and so excited. The results are, I mean, my stuff is blowing up. I get text messages. People are so happy right now, and it's time. It's time. So I'm excited, very excited.
And any links to your where people can reach you. I'm going to put all the links below so they can reach out to you, get your stuff, get their hands on that. And I think you've called it Hollow Tech. Is that right?
Yep, it's Holotech, HOLOTECH.biz. This website is very easy. My Telegram group is on there. You can just click on the links. I mean, I make myself available for the people because I mean, as a king should, as a real king should. Okay. And throughout history, all kings had certain abilities. I just happen to have them all.
What do you think is going to happen to Biden in the long run?
Well, you biting, or you mean that demon? Well, the boot on his leg was to trap the entity that's literally in that body. So there's more to it. He will be publicly executed, just like everybody else, and it's for show. Like Charlie Ward says, he is correct. All of it's already done. Everything is a fucking show. Excuse my French.
That's all right.
So it's that's what upsets me and my team and lots of other people around the world because we are very, very advanced remote viewers, and we have our connection with our Father. We know things. Do you understand? So we know they've all been executed, all of them, literally all of them. Hillary was a problem because of her off-planet groups. If they would have arrested her a couple years back, they would have just teleported her out and off planet, and she would have not had to pay the consequences. Which is why we came in from out outside the galaxy and closed in slowly but surely, which is why you see the ships now, because we're done. Okay, we're done. And now we're here. The whole thing that made this possible was when I put a hole through the glass dome that was encasing this part of the planet. Once I put a hole through the glass dome, the ships and the angels, the angelics, were able to come in. This little area was a Draco reptilian stronghold until that day, which was Father's Day about 4 years ago. That's when it all started. Mm. So lots of things are happening behind the scenes, and they are literally, like I said, 95% behind, all across the board, every single one of them. The reason why you see super soldiers and different groups coming out is because I'm telling the truth. It's all been overhauled.
Yeah, so they're basically safe to start coming out and talking now. That's why there's so many coming out, especially exactly. Like the sexual abuse and ritual satanic people. Like they can actually come out without being, as you would say, popped.
Exactly. Now, what you are seeing some individuals being popped, but they're not actually being popped because it's a game, not a game. It's like Q and them says, it's a movie. Okay. Now, when I say we've been replaced, imagine someone with the abilities to instantly clone you, move in, take you, put your clone there without anyone noticing.
Well, that's been happening already.
That's exactly what I'm telling you, because that's what I've been doing. Okay. The reason why they can't, okay, you know about Looking Glass and all that, right?
I think it's ET technology. The ET technologies that I know about.
Yeah, it's ET and in reverse technology, Looking Glass, where you can look into the future. Well, we took all that, and we either took the whole entire Looking Glass devices, or we took pieces so that it wouldn't function. And the reason for it is because Daddy Source doesn't want people to see the future anymore, because that it's how, he wants it to go his way. So since they had the upper hand, he allowed it. He did allow it, but they got carried away. They started doing things they wanted to do, and now he had me confiscated. So right now it's like, y'all don't know what's happening, but I do. You understand?
Yeah, I understand completely. I remember there was some leaked documents that came out some years ago when I was reading some stuff about the Philadelphia experiment. And then after that, they had a whole lot of remote viewers who were trying to look into the future and stuff. And they couldn't see past the year 2012. And they couldn't understand. They're like, nothing happens after that. We don't understand why.
Exactly. And they were still able to look at certain things. And they were also able, a lot of them took photographs of the future when they were time traveling. Okay. And up until maybe a week or so ago, I went into a meeting where they were at, and there were time travelers there that I had to remove. And it wasn't pretty for them, and they thought they wouldn't get caught. So it's like, do you not realize your creator sees everything? Huh? What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah. Quite.
And I love to talk shit. I love to talk crap, because I know what I'm doing. I see what I'm doing. And it's all going to be validated. Every single bit of it. It will be validated. And the people's faith in their participation will allow it to happen faster. That's why I say a couple of days, because he's literally putting me on front stage so that people can understand and see how it's done. So everybody should be excited. Everyone.
Why are there certain eyes pointed towards Florida? What's going on in Florida?
Well, what's going to happen in Florida, in the Emerald Coast, that's where the portal will be open, where all the ships come in to bring in all my equipment for healing the planet. You will see all ships, different sizes. I mean, we can teleport in and out. And since the glass dome is gone, we don't have to teleport outside of the dome. we can just come right in. But there are different ships on different realities, different dimensions that will need a portal to enter in. With us, time doesn't exist. So that's why this is possible. That's why things are going to happen the way our creator wants them to happen. Destin, Florida will be the new capital of Earth. It will look like kind of like Dubai, but on a higher scale, with beautiful things everywhere. Animals roaming around, tigers, bears, everybody telepathically communicating with each other. This is literally going to be like the part of the Bible where it said everybody will experience these things. They just didn't realize how it was going to play out, including myself. Now I fully understand because I'm literally talking to Daddy, Creator,
Yeah.
God.
And I think the 3 days of darkness is done now, isn't it? Because I think that was meant to happen, but it didn't happen in the end. It was kind of foiled. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, people, you have to remember that they were trying to do the same thing the media does, which is trying to get people to create that. So I come along and be like, delete. When you have the power that I have, you can instantly manifest things by yourself. I'm teaching people how to do it as a group, because what they don't know is that we have to go out into the universe and help the rest of the civilizations, no matter what species you are. I'm literally the king of the entire universe, and I have to go out and help the entire universe. It's my responsibilities. So I'm looking forward to it.
Are there any particular ET races that you like working with, or that you particularly like?
Well, they're all pretty much on board right now. There were some that were hesitant to work with us, and that's only because of the previous groups that were here running around amok, right, doing messed up things. But once, see, the galactics and different beings that have telepathic communications and remote viewing and insight, they see what's happening. So we called them all to a meeting and told them, listen, this is what's going to happen. You guys got to decide on if you're going to be on this side or that side. So majority of them, after witnessing things, pretty much come to the light. I mean, I don't want to scare nobody, but if somebody comes along and took out the unseen forces that is also unseen to them, I would be afraid too. Okay. That's the
And
truth.
and do you recommend that anyone remote view, or do you think it's something just best left for people who know what they're doing? Because you can attract attention to yourself when you're remote viewing, right?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. The way to do it is to, I would listen. I would take the training. There's training on my website, archived videos. Listen, and I'm also doing trainings, videos. What happens is you want to absorb all the frequencies and all the energy that our Father gives us, so that you're protected when you are remote viewing, so that you don't have attachments coming back. So that's very important. I don't suggest anybody just do it, especially galactic wide, because there's still a lot of darkness out there, including here. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you are fully trained to do so. Otherwise, you can get killed, or you can get badly bruised up, and that's been happening because I have to repair people, so I know. But yeah, I'm glad you answered that so that people understand that. Don't go out there until you're ready.
And regards all the missing children, I think those numbers should start coming down a little bit now. Do you think, what with everything that's going on? Because the missing children, I think it was millions worldwide every year just disappearing. I mean, that's got to start calming down now, I think, right?
Well, it has come down, and it literally has been halted because we've already cleared out all the bases. Um, what people need to understand now is that those children are literally safe, and they're on our vessels being cared after. The children were the first ones to receive the crystalline chambers, because a lot of them were being deformed because of the DNA splicing. They were literally mixing them up with different ETs from around the universe, not universe, around this part of the galaxy to make their adrenochrome more heightened, more stronger, more potent. So we put an end to all that. So yeah, and they will be returned when the time is right, when the people are ready for it, because a lot of the parents are going to be really, really upset and hurt. You know, I see that happening, and we're doing everything we can to minimize that impact, which is why we're raising the consciousness. And all of us across the board are pushing the information now so that they can see. Not everybody's going to be ready for it, but that's why we have crystalline chambers and different, you know, the Jedis. We're constantly putting love and light blankets around everybody with clarity to prepare everybody for it. We're doing a lot of work across the board, and the people don't even know we exist yet.
Because a lot of kids got taken off planet, they got taken to other moons and other places, and a lot of them just didn't come back.
That's correct. That is true. But we took them also. We took them all. We took them all. A couple months back, what we did was I requested a specific frequency that Daddy would give me to put on the children across the board. That means every single one of the children. Now, as far as my training and how I do it, we do it with our Creator. He knows where all the children are at. Okay, He knows where all the children, no matter what race, He knows where they're all at. And it wasn't just happening to the human race. Okay, it was happening to different races across the board. He knows where they're all at. He sent down the frequencies, and we placed them around all the children so that these beings that were feeding off of them will literally have that magnet effect where they can't be next to them. Everything is a frequency. People have to understand. This is what I've been doing behind the scenes. Okay, so I'm excited. This is the last cycle and it's over. Very excited. Yeah. And if anybody wants to troll me or say other than that, I would suggest y'all just zip it, because it will lead to embarrassment. Seriously, don't mess with me. That's my disclaimer. Don't mess with me. And if you don't want to live forever, don't use none of my stuff, because you will live forever in your embarrassment. Go ahead.
And look, I want to, this has been an amazing interview. I think we've been running for something like 50 minutes or something. And usually I try to wrap it around the 50-minute hour mark, because that's a really, really, really good time that the human brain can still digest the enormity of what we've just been talking about. Because we want to fry people's brains, but we don't want to like fry them completely. So,
well, you know, I don't care, because I know what I can do. I can repair them quick.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. I understand. We can do this anytime you want to, Alexander. Just let me know.
I'd love to. I'd love to. Is there anything, any like kind of parting message before we do this another time, but just for today, is there anything you just want to give out to the collective out there? Any message, any kind of parting message? Okay, well, I would just love everybody to keep broadcasting their own love and light across the board, and not be discouraged, because there are higher forces, benevolent forces working on their behalf, and we are revealing ourselves. So hang tight, everybody, because the shift is hitting the fan. Okay, very, very beautiful. Yeah, and I would say the same thing. Just hold in there, guys. You know, it seems like the dark has won, but it hasn't. The light has won. It's just, you know, we're just seeing the final throws.
That's right. That's right.
I'd like to thank you so much for coming on. I really hope we do this again, because I love talking to you. You know, you're a really great guy. You're very charismatic. I like your energy. You're a lot of fun as well.
Thank you.
And I think people are going to really love what you've got to say. So it's been magical. Thank you again. We're going to finish here. I hope we do it again, and much love. And you're a great guy.